Karibu kwenye Msasa, where we talk to successful people about failure.
You know that hashtag, if you know, you know?
Yes. IY.
IF.
If.
Yeah. IY. K. Y. K.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. Our guest today is an expert communicator. Our guest is one of the greatest madmen we've ever had in this industry. Our guest today is on media. He's ceremonious, although he doesn't like being an MC very often. I don't know why. He's really good at it, but hey, it is what it is. But more specifically in the context of creative marketing, if you know, you know how to face. It will be Bob Mongi.
Hey, bro.
Karibu kwenye Msasa.
Asante sana. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, Bobby.
My brother.
Tell me, in your opinion, what's the greatest gift you've ever been given by another human?
Like tangible gift or gift?
Well...
Given by a human, human being.
By another human being, yes. What's the greatest gift you've ever been given? Could be tangible or non-tangible.
That would have to be in the year 2001. I was working as a radio presenter. That was my first job, fresh out of high school. And
high school?
Yeah.
Don't go high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
And after about a year working on radio, there's a brother of mine, Kelvin Tusa. Kelvin, we used to hang out, we'd talk. And one day he told me, I think you could work in the corporate world. Advertising suits you. And prior to that, I was offered a job at one of the biggest agencies at the time, but I was too timid to take the offer.
Okay.
So I backed down on that offer. But when Kelvin said it to me, I was like, okay, so this is the second offer I'm getting. Let me take it. And it was a multinational agency. I had no idea that I was about to start a career that was going to pay me 3 times of what I was earning at the time.
Okay.
So to me, that's got to be one of the best gifts because that changed my trajectory completely.
Right.
From there, I started seeing what could be done and how capable I was, how limited I was, and who I needed to learn from. And Kevin was one of the first in the corporate world.
Okay, so you started in radio and then went to advertising.
Yes, radio, TV, and then advertising.
Radio, TV, and then advertising.
Yes.
So ulianza wapi Clouds, huh?
I was at Clouds, but while I was at Clouds, Seven, Christine Mosha, used to be a field reporter for Mnet.
Okay.
And I think she was moving on to other things and she was asked to recommend. And she recommended me. I went for the audition. Actually, it wasn't an audition. It was more like an interview.
Okay.
And I got the job.
Yeah.
So that was my part-time side hustle. And those are good times.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So after that, that's when Kelvin pulled me into advertising.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you got into advertising,
yes,
was it immediately copywriting or did you?
No. I didn't start as a creative. I started as a junior account executive.
Really?
Yes.
You did account management?
Yes, I did.
Well, you are charming, so I guess.
I did account management.
Okay.
So we were handling some telcos and banks. It was more telco, yeah. Did that for about a year and a half and then went back to media.
Okay.
And then
you missed media or you just got tired of the advertising?
No. The company winded up.
It
winded up and there was an offer. In
media.
Yeah. So I joined East Africa. I worked with them. Yeah. And then went back to advertising again. So I was always
radio,
double dutching. Media
advertising. Okay.
Yes.
Why do you think agencies shut down like a lot? Because local ones die very often. Very few go past 5 years. Actually, many don't even make it to 3. But on top of that, very few past 5. And then the gap between 5 and 10, even fewer, who survive 10, 11 na kuendelea locally. Hata za nje lakini zikija mzee zinafold. Sana. Is it like a very volatile business or?
It is volatile, but there was a golden era where the advertising world was doing very well, and if you were in it at the time, if you owned an advertising agency at the time and were good at what you were doing, you'd get paid a pretty penny.
What era is this? What year?
This is between 2008 to about 2015, 14, 15.
Kikwete era, boyish.
Yes. The budgets that were being approved were big budgets. And creatively, the agencies were allowed to be creative. But then as the years went, there was this notion that creativity is you don't have to work in an agency to be creative. I could be the client and also be creative.
Okay.
So I can have a department, hire my own in-house team.
Yes.
Do exactly what
we've seen a lot of that lately, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Banks, telcos.
Yeah. So, they have their reasons. I can't speak for them, but from a creative standpoint, to answer your question, why do agencies struggle? I think it's because the economy changed. And most companies chopped down their marketing budgets significantly.
Yeah.
At a certain stage over the years. And when that happened, advertising agencies faced the brunt of that. So you either had to cut down on your rate card or
cut down on your people.
Cut down on your costs, running costs. So so with that and the clients wanting to be the agency, and wanting to limit your creativity as a creative agency, I think all these factors contributed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So who discovered that, hey, account management, cool, but I think you should write?
That has got to be my brother, Rashid Tenga.
Okay.
Rashid, so it was Clouds, and then I went to Mnet and Clouds at the same time. And then I left. I went to Foodcon and Building with Twisa. When I left there...
How long was that firm in Tanzania?
FCB, I think 3-4 years. Maybe.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Maybe more, maybe longer. I might be wrong. So Rashid and I worked together at FCB. Yeah.
He was a copywriter?
Yes, he was a copywriter.
Okay.
And then when there was an outfit set up called Creative Eye, I joined the team. That's when I started doing copywriting.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, that's where it started. But given my background in media and I love music.
Yeah.
And kuongea redioni nadhani it makes you a good storyteller.
Yeah, it makes you conversant as well. Yeah.
So I guess putting those thoughts and ideas into writing wasn't really a struggle.
Yeah. Okay. Can you paint me a picture of how you grew up, Bobby?
Ooh, that's a long story. Well, this young man was born in a family of 4. I have an elder brother and a set of twin siblings, and I happen to be the last born.
Okay.
Yeah.
The twins, are they identical?
No, they weren't.
Okay.
Our sister died. So it's just my 2 brothers and I think.
Okay.
Born to a pilot father and a cabin crew mother. Yeah, they met in the air. And they got high off each other.
That's nice.
So, I grew up in Nairobi, my early years. But in the early 90s, there was some civil unrest going on in Kenya. my parents had separated, so my mother decided to move us back to Arusha, which is where I grew up. That's nyumbani kabisa. So and that was the time I was just about to start my secondary education.
Okay.
So yeah, I came back. It was a slight culture shock, adolescence and all that. But I think that was one of the best things that my mother could ever have done, because I love my country.
Yeah.
And kusoma Tanzania kulinibadilisha, I think that's what built my resilience.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, nilisoma Tambaza, sio kama unajua shule. Yeah. Tambaza ile shule bwana 1993 ilifungwa. That's the year nimeingia form 1. And the wanafunzi wa Tambaza kwa wanajitaga wa solid.
Ni wagumu.
The brotherhood is strong. You can't. And I was nilikuwa mdogo. I'm not that tall. Sina mwili mkubwa sana. So you can imagine what I was, how I looked when I was that age. Kwa hiyo siku ya kwanza naingia darasani nakumbuka niligombaniwa sababu everybody was booking. Bana ile saa naomba msiguse na ichinya kwangu. Wengine bana hilo begi hilo bana
tuko na book vitu
bana hicho kiatu hicho mkiacheni. And that was just after the teacher left. Nilizungukwa kwenye meza yangu. Lakini kuna jamaa mmoja amemsahau jina bwana. Ndo alinitetea pale na nini, amsimuone dogo. Nikiangalia pembeni hivi kuna watu wana ndevu kabisa, sideburns bro. In form 1. I was like, how am I going to survive this experience? Nilibiwa, lakini sio siku ile, lakini nilibiwa sana.
Eventually. It's just a matter of time.
Yani nilikuwa wakati ule walikuwa naturuhusu kama kipindi cha baridi unaweza kuja umevaa koti, lakini umevaa uniform kwa ndani. Kama it's cold you all out to wear your blazer. Wakati wa break unaweza kuvaa kofia yako nini, kwa hiyo unakuja na New York Yankees, White Sox, Unyamwezi nini, ambapo ziliondoka nyingi sana. Walipita nazo. Lakini yeah, so niligundua kwamba okay, if I'm to survive this experience, I also have to be solid.
Yes.
Kwa hiyo pale ukakamavu wangu ulipoanza, and I was like, okay, so you can't be soft too nice. So I had to toughen up.
Ilikuwa ni boarding, huh?
No, ilikuwa ni day. Lakini kuna fujo ilitokea. Tambaza kwa ni wanafujo sana. There's an incident of kuna mwanafunzi wenzetu alifanya fujo. Tukua kuna fujo yani kwenye mechi za mipira na nini. Those things zikitokeaga yani ugomvi kwa ni lazima. Sasa kuna vurugu ilitokea baada ya mechi gani, sijui ilikuwa na Azania or something. Huyu mwanafunzi akagombana kwenye daladala na konda. Akapigana naye konda akafa. Yeah. So konda alivyokufa akaitwa Puzo. Puza. Either one of the two. Puza yeye akakimbia akaenda zake nyumbani ili kutafuta nini, akaamua naye kucommit suicide. So that was the second last straw before wa disband ile shule. Then baada Puza kujiua ikaja ikatokea pale shule Muhimbili na Tambaza kuna ukuta ulikuwa unajengwa kwa sababu wanafunzi wa Muhimbili primary walikuwa wanasema kwamba wanachokozwa sana na wanafunzi wa sekondari wa Tambaza. So shule ya Muhimbili wasema wanataka kujenga ukuta, lakini ule uwanja tulikuwa tunautumia pia. So there was that, kwa nini na ule solid sasa kwamba siku nakumbuka there was a day tuko darasani kawa wanasema twende tukavunja ukuta kwa maujenga hadi kama sawa hapa. Twende tukavunja ukuta.
Kulikuwa na walimu pia wanahusika ni
no, wanafunzi tu.
Ni solid crew.
Lakini sasa solid ni kwamba you have to show solidarity. Umeambiwa twende ukabaki darasani ukikutwa ni halali. So like okay, so mimi nikatoka na mimi naunga tu store imevunjwa, mwenye kuchukua sijui slasher, mwenye kuchukua sijui whatever it is you can get twende. But yeah, there was a mini type of riot. And I think that was the last straw. Serikali ikasema no, shule tuifunge. Tutawapangia allocations tofauti wanafunzi. Kwa hiyo, yeah, mimi nikapangiwa Ilboru.
Chuga.
Yes, right next door to nyumbani. Kaleta utukutu kidogo, nikakataa kwenda. Long story short, baadaye nikapangiwa Umbwe.
Okay.
Lakini Umbwe nako, that was where now I learned hard work, teamwork, survival skills. Unaoga maji ya baridi mlimani. Acha bwana. Umbwe was an experience. Mti safi. But yeah, from there after Umbwe, nilipita Arusha Seki kidogo. Don't ask why. I'm just giving you my story. All government schools. And after that, after graduating from 4, nikaenda Dakawa High School. Very good government school.
For 5 and 6.
5 and 6,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that was 1998. So ile tumaliza 2000. Tumaliza tu. Clouds came. Clouds ilianzaje? My brother Emil Chris and Bonnie Love alinipaga nafasi ku perform Lake Duluti.
Ku perform aje?
Okay, it was wakati nini Lake Party?
So going to Lake Parties, yes.
Lake Party, yes.
Yes.
Lake Duluti pale.
Yeah, but ku perform aje?
Okay, so
as a
basically
rapper,
he would give room to people with talent to showcase their talent. Anakuwekea beat. I remember niliwekea beat ya Davina So Good. And I used to fancy myself a rapper. I used to write.
Koli chana.
Nipa ni chana iwa.
Nice.
So nikachana kwa Kiingereza. I think that's the first time Bonnie amenisikia. Na Emil Chris was there. Mari Mruge walikuwepo naye. But me, after doing that, I was just, nimeua mzee. And I was satisfied. Little did I know ya kwamba they had noticed me. So we met again at a place called Roaster's Garden. Ilikuwa ni Emil Chris. Hapo bado niko high school Dakar. So
ulikuwa likizo hapo?
Ilikuwa likizo, yes. I met Emil Chris ndo akaniita. Akaniambia, I need you to meet someone. Akaniambia, njoo. Akaniintroduce kwa Ruge. Kumbe Ruge na interview. Piga story pale. Okay. Sawa. Wewe unafanya ngambia mimi nasoma wapi? Morogoro. Yani ungekuwa unasoma yani una kazi yani next week unaingia hewani. I'm like, okay, lakini namaliza soon. Ambao ukimaliza tu njoo. Yani sio nicheki, njoo. There's a job waiting for you. So yeah, that's how it started. Namaliza from 6,
just like
joined Clouds FM, and then the movie began. Picture ikaanza.
If it had to be a title of a movie, what would it be?
Hey, Bob West Goes to Town.
Bob West Goes to Town. Nice. Okay.
That's the name Kakaboni used to call me. Kwa sababu unajua watu Arusha sisi tuna swaga yetu fulani amazing.
Yeah.
Kwa hiyo there's a time kivurugika kidogo nisipokuelewa sema Bob West huo ni umekuwa Bob West sasa sio Bobby. Yeah.
So you basically go umeweza kufanya kazi mapema.
Yeah.
Umeweza tu 6 le pap.
Actually iliniletea ugomvi mkubwa sana because my mom had plans for me and I had options. America was not one. And even if it was nisingechukua, lakini my options were those Germany and Canada and the UK or Australia, but mostly Germany and Canada.
To go and study what?
She was pushing me to do law.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wanted to be an entertainer.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, no, you know what? Shule pause kwanza. Let me ngoja sijajipata bado. Nijitafuta. So hapo kidogo tulivutana lakini because I had a job offer, kiubishi I just went for it.
Yeah. Okay.
There are lessons I had to learn the hard way, but no regrets.
Okay.
No regrets.
So basically my next question would have been exactly that.
Yeah.
What are the lessons that had to be learned because of that decision?
The lessons that had to be learned are lessons that I'm trying to teach my firstborn. As a young man, when you're young, you have the energy. When you have energy, you have speed. But with all that energy and speed, you need to have accuracy in where you're heading. Wanting to move faster than knowing where you want to go get is the biggest mistake that most young people make.
Okay.
And so unajikuta utatumia muda mwingi sana kujitafuta hadi kuja kujipata. Yeah. So that to me, but still I don't regret going the media direction, the entertainment direction, because that gave me room to discover my my capabilities at their fullest, because I did go back to study eventually, but it was 8 years later.
8 years later.
8 years later.
Nice. And what did you study? Mass comm?
Bachelor of Arts in Film and Media Studies.
Karibu kwenye Msasa, where we talk to successful people about fame.
Nice. You did film and media.
Yes.
That's very
Too
cool.
theoretical, though. University of Cape Town.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not applicable? Any of the knowledge
Well,
can be...
applicable, very applicable, but not practical enough. Not applicable practically. Applicable.
Like, you know how to think about it, but you can't quite do it.
Yes. You'd still have to start from scratch practically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's challenging. Why? I'm going to enough field experiences.
No. They used to select very few kuwapeleka kwenye electives ambazo ni more practical, like production. Yeah.
Okay.
And that I had 1 year to go, and we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. Yeah.
Okay.
One of the things I'm not too proud of doing, but yeah.
Bobby, both the media, especially mainstream media, that is still relevant, at least has been relevant for the past 20 years, and zingine more recently,
Yes.
as well as advertising is a very young industry.
Yes.
Kimsingi ndo imesimama inaanza kukua. You know, if it was a baby growing up, ndo amemaliza teenager ameanza kuingia kwenye 20s.
This is
advertising,
yes.
And in that particular context, whether or not you like to hear this, you are one of the OGs.
I think yes, okay.
Yes.
Your question. Mm-hmm. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it.
And what has been like the biggest evolution you've seen since it was an idea and then it became a thing, and there were agencies that were doing great work,
yes,
and people were surviving off this thing, to digital coming in, budgets going down, more new faces and new voices and new talent coming in? What has been the evolution of advertising in this market?
I can't really speak of that as an expert, but I'd say the evolution of advertising in Tanzania, there are a lot of things that, advertising agencies used to be predominantly traditional media, traditional marketing. You know, it's radio, it's TV, it's print, it's outdoor, BTL, But then when digital marketing, digital media came into the picture, that changed the game globally. But there are a lot of factors that traditional marketing is still important. Yeah. But from a creative perspective, naona kama vile tulianza vizuri na mbunifu alikuwa anasikilizwa, alikuwa anapewa nafasi ya kutengeneza kitu ambacho wanaamini kitafanya kazi. Na mteja akawa anasikiliza. The client would listen that, okay, this is a good concept. If you tell me it's going to work, I believe you. You're the expert. So I will follow you.
The expertise was
appreciated, respected, appreciated, and remunerated accordingly. Yeah. But then there was, ikafika sehemu, it's kind of like wakaanza kuchukulia poa kwamba hii inaweza kufanyika, hebu mlete mtu mweke hapa in-house, hebu mweke huyu, alafu client naye anajiona na yeye ni creative,
anachangia ideas.
Kwa hiyo hapo amekubana kwenye ubunifu wako, amekubana kwenye malipo yako, alafu bado unapumuliwa begani na digital ya kwamba these things are changing. So there are those agencies that managed to change with the times, and there are certain agencies that couldn't. So nyingi zilikufa kwa sababu hiyo, na zikaibuka new agencies ambazo they were strong in digital marketing than traditional. Lakini I don't want to speak from the business part. I want to speak from the creative perspective.
Yeah.
Kitu kikubwa ambacho kwa maoni yangu mimi kimeua creativity kwenye advertising industry ya Tanzania ni ile kudhani ya kwamba audience market ya Kitanzania inahitaji kuwasilishiwa ujumbe kwa the simplest of ways. Yani ukiwa too creative unaambia hiyo bwana itawapita juu, hawataelewa, it's too complicated. Who said wa Tanzania ni wajinga hiyo? Tunaitwa wabongo. Bongo is brain.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Lakini sasa mteja kishaongea vile, umejipinda, umekesha na timu yako, umesuka kitu chenu, you have to go back to the drawing board to water it down. Sasa you water it down to the point of final product inakuja kwenda hewani au kuwa flighted. Ukiangalia it's approved, imelipiwa, lakini there's
nothing great about
it. There's nothing.
I feel like that comes from fear from the client side.
Yes.
Because when they say hawataelewa, is yani the kwamba the opportunity cost of being so creative is if they don't get it, we just spent this much money to produce this thing and air it for this long, and ujumbe wangu hujafika.
Yes.
And so the person who does or says stuff like that usually maybe is not the final person who's actually signing that contract or that check, but is probably
nadhani the problem is sisi wa Tanzania tuna shida moja, and I'll get to it. Lakini mchawi anayetafutwa sie. You might blame that the audience hawaelewi, but how about maybe your product is just weak?
That's also possible.
You understand? My job as a creative is to sell your product.
Yeah.
You bring the product to the table.
Yeah.
If you bring a weak product, it's my job to do the best to sell it.
Yeah.
With all its weakness. Sasa mteja akiona kwamba bidhaa yake haiuziki, badala ya kuangalia udhaifu wa bidhaa yenyewe, anaanza kulaumu udhaifu wa creative. Labda kwa sababu you're too smart, your concept is too witty, to water it down for the like maybe you should go back, acha kuiga mwenzako anachokifanya. Hiyo ndo shida ambayo sisi I'm getting to my point ya kwamba shida yetu Tanzania ni kwamba we are experts at imitating.
Yeah.
If you do something that works, so
instead
of figuring out, learning the lesson from, okay, you did something different. Okay, how can I do something different to beat that?
Yeah.
Like we're going to use, okay, you've done something that's working. What are you doing? How did you do it? Joe. Fanya hivi. Nataka kama yeye. Kama uko restaurant tumeona mtu amepitishwa sahani nzuri. That's nice on nini. I want like that.
Yeah.
Sasa wote mwisho wa siku you won't evolve.
Yeah.
Mtapoteza miaka na miaka, and unfortunately that's been the case with most of the big clients, wala nisionge industry wala nini.
Yeah.
Lakini that's still the case until today.
Yeah.
Kwamba the innovation and the competition is not based on innovation but rather imitation.
The competition is not based on innovation, rather imitation.
I will say the same thing, just try and package it in my brand colors. Not even package it better. Package it in my brand colors, but I'm saying the same exact thing.
From a business angle, is it possible it's working?
From a business angle, who said it wouldn't work if you didn't go about it that way? What about it differently?
It's a good point. It's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Because I'm not the client.
Right? But yeah, it does get boring.
Yeah.
And
when it's frustrating. As a creative, I think those are the most frustrating times. Like when a creative is like a soldier. Umeambiwa, this is the brief. It's not your job client service department can go back with all the questions ambazo team imetoa if you have an organized structure.
Right.
Lakini the brief is the brief.
Yeah.
Sometimes the brief is a crappy one, but it's your job as the creative department to make it work.
Yeah.
What's more frustrating is you did your best to make it work. Brilliant idea. You take it and be, water it down. Too complicated.
Hawataelewa.
Hawataelewa
kweli.
Hawataelewa. Who said? Watanzania wana akili bwana.
Wana akili sana. Yeah. What has been the most fun creative job that you've ever had to be a part of? Can you enjoy the process from creation, brainstorming, the bad ideas and the good ones, execution,
Agreeing
and
Clifford.
then the campaign was like,
Agreeing Clifford,
Yes.
2013. Ilikuwa ni campaign ya Zantel, which was our biggest client at the time. Ilikuwa ni Bongo Star Search, was sponsored by Zantel that year. And we had to go and shoot a big budget. It was a big budget production. We had to go and shoot this in India. Because the budget was so big, tuliwapa added value tukawambia tutatengeneza other small ads, but 9 more.
9 more small ads.
Yes.
So basically 10 ads.
10 ads. And we did these 10 ads in 5 days.
Nice.
In India.
Hapo kipindi hicho digital ishapamba moto.
Imeanza kuchanganya. Yes. But yeah, that to me, and I was head of production at the agency at the time. I traveled with the client, and that was an experience.
Yeah,
that was an experience.
And the ads
are good. Kuna tuli sample. I don't know if you know Antu Mendoza. The okay, that's the model that we use. Like tuli sample wimbo King Kiki Niko Njiani. Ewe njiwa fungua njiao kitoto cha anza tamba. That song.
Yes.
So tulitumia ile. Concept was, this is a village girl who has a talent ya kuimba, and ameamka asubuhi, you see her cleaning, ametoka nyumba ya msonge na nini, amevaa zake kilemba, kanga na nini, anapiga mswaki na mswaki kijiti, you know. And so baada kupiga mswaki anaanza kuimba, and she's singing that song. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Asa anavyoimba ule mswaki wa kijiti ndio mic yake.
Okay.
And then she turns around, and then visual effects, now she's all glamorous and stuff. She's on the Bongo Star Search stage.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where you are. If you have the talent, Bongo Star Search ya mwaka huu can give you that platform.
Nice.
That was the concept.
Nice.
And Depende Sana, it was a big success.
Nice.
And, so that to me has got to be one of the most exciting jobs I did.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Mimi bwana, one, I never thought I would be in this space.
You used to do music.
I used to do music.
You still do music?
Sorry. I still do music.
Nakugozia kibao sasa hivi nakuuliza maswali mimi.
For freshly. I do, just not for other people currently. Yeah. But before that, there's a time I had watched this series named Mad Men, and it really one of movies in influence.
Sana. Yeah.
So it's so influential, and I can remember movies when I was, a 13, 14, 16-year-old.
Yeah.
And some of them have even influenced the way I have opinions about certain things. Anyways.
Mad Men influenced the way we dressed as an agency at Clifford.
Really?
Always suits, bro.
Dope. That was very cool.
Suits, yeah.
Ilikuwa mkora fulani hivi amazing.
Yeah.
Mkora fulani amazing.
Donald Draper.
So, Donald Draper, bonge personality. So I watched that, I was like, this is very cool. Anyway, it's a cool series. We move on with our lives.
Yeah.
And then for me, I don't know why it never clicked in my head. I guess at that time I was a victim of one of those people who think, bongo bado. Bongo tayari long time.
Long time.
Wewe ndio unafikiri bado.
We catch on fast.
We catch on very fast. Yeah. Lakini mimi nilianza kuamini, actually sio kuamini, nilianza kuona kwamba hivi kumbe bongo tuna watu wa marketing na advertising pia. Niliposikia tangazo la hivi ilikuwa ni Tigo wakati huo. Ilikuwa ni tangazo gani?
Tigo.
Ilikuwa ni Tigo. It was called Tigo already, yeah?
Yes.
I was like, oh shit. Afu nikarudia tena ile series ya Mad Men. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
This is a whole song that has no lyric.
Yeah. The lyrics to that jingle. I'll tell you the words. The first word was du, wana, and yeah. So six sounds. Some apart from buana, none of them are words. So
Yeah.
that's what the jingle was made of, a cappella. And we showed it those an announcer. This was the brainchild of yours truly, my brother Rashid Tenga. He's quite gifted when it comes to creative marketing.
Nice.
Yeah, that was his idea.
Wow.
But I was lucky enough. Now this, when this was happening, the agency I was working with when I was with him, okay, it was FCB. I told you, then went to Creative Eye.
Creative Eye, yeah.
Yes. So when I was in South Africa, I came back on vacation, and we would keep in touch every time I was in the country. And he was like, "Yeah, by the way, bwana kuna hii kazi hapa tuipige tu tusipige." I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I need a main character. I'm like, do I fit? I don't know. Let's try it. And we tried it. Actually, kwenye ile tangazo, all I was supposed to do was just say, do. But the reaction I made when I was saying do, the director was like, do that again. No. With your eyes, yes, do that again. So every time you say do that with your eyes. I have big eyes. I didn't intend for that to be, but like just ushangaa tusema do. So and
Unajua Mungu akwambia anakupa vipaji gani?
You understand?
Anakupa jicho.
Director said, I want that. So every time there was me saying do, I had to pop my eyes up. Nimeamka from my sleep, do, macho, But yeah, that was good times. Yes, 20. Yeah. I don't know if I was answering your question or you just got excited to talk about it.
No. I was just sharing a moment where I was like, oh wow, this was something. This was something that made me start wondering and realizing that kumbe vitu vipyo. Maybe we'll see. But what I do want to ask you is, in your 20 plus years career,
yes,
can you share a moment when you were most afraid?
Yes, I can. I was afraid because I found myself in a situation that I put myself in it wasn't deliberate. And, okay, so this was a situation. I was lucky enough to work for a multinational organization, another multinational organization. But I was a consultant, and the pay was quite good. But as I said, the economy changed. So most clients were chopping down their budgets.
Yeah.
And so that affected how agencies were operating, and they had to let go of some of their staff and stuff. But when that was happening, I was privy to that redundance, whatever, the list. So I asked, I'm like, am I still needed? Just let me know in advance because I'm a consultant anyway. I just, bora nijue mapema nijipange. And they're like, no, we need you. If anything, we want to confirm you because you've been a consultant for 2 years.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, great. Cool bananas. We'll talk when the time comes. And the time came, my contract got to its end. And the lady came from Nairobi, kaja kuniona. She had a meeting with me. I left home that day knowing it's just another day at work. And probably I'll come back home with a contract. And I get there, and yes, there was a contract, but what I was taking home, they decided to gross down in order to accommodate whatever taxes that needed to be paid, so that they can put me on full-time employment.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, first of all, pause. Am I underperforming? No. Have I met my KPIs? Yes. Okay. Am I being demoted? No. Am I still carrying the same roles? Yes. Why am I to earn less? Like, no, because now we're confirming. I'm like, I hear you confirming me, but can you at least gross up and leave it there? I'm not asking for a salary increment if the situation is what it is. So that was me thinking that I was negotiating. And I was told, okay, we'll get back to you, no problem. Let's go, we'll discuss it. I'm like, oh yeah, think about it. But no, you can't gross down. Are you serious? You can't gross down. That was not a very good decision. In a few hours, I received an email saying, "Thank you very much, but we can't afford you." So I left. I left home knowing I'm going to work, and I came back jobless. And that was the beginning of a very difficult time for me.
Yeah.
Because the economy had changed. Most people couldn't afford to have a big team, let alone an experienced one. So I was pretty much unhireable because everywhere I went, the issue was not my resume. The issue was my expectations. And even when I tried to hint that, hey, we can figure something out, they're like, we can't afford you. We can't, no. Everybody was, I was like an untouchable person. So,
Karibu kwenye Msasa, where we talk to successful people about failure.
So how do you overcome something like that?
God. That God, because that was just the beginning of a series of many unfortunate events for me.
Okay.
Because that happened and a lot of things on a personal level took place that were quite difficult to deal with, including the death of my parents.
Yeah.
I lost my parents in the year 2018. I buried my father on the 1st of December and my mother died on the 5th of December 2018. So mind you, I lost a job. I've got problems, personal problems, and then I've got my parents dying. That was very difficult. So if you ask me how I made it through that period, it was God. It was God. Yeah. But also I had good people around me. I had a good network of friends, a very small circle, not too many people, but people that I knew had my back, people I knew would be there if I needed them to be there for me, even just by talking, by listening, by tolerating me where I needed to be tolerated. But God helped me get through that. Yeah.
So, for instance, is your faith in God something that grounds you, or is there more?
Yes.
Or is there like something else?
No, it's God. God, I think I came to realize one thing. Yes, God does keep me grounded, has had me grounded all my life. It took me a while to realize, but I'm not I'm not a preacher, but I do believe, and what I'm about to say is something along the lines of how we're supposed to believe.
Okay.
I like to tell this story, and even on my show, on our show, I've used it as one of the motishas. We all know of a microwave, yeah? You put something into it, either you're defrosting, you're heating, you're grilling. The moment you punch in your settings and press start, you can go about your business, it's done.
Yeah.
You come back after you hear that ding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes, done. Now, I think faith is supposed to be that way. A lot of people ask God for things, and the moment they're done, give them 120 seconds. That's 2 minutes. They're back to worrying about how they're going to sort out whatever issue they ask God to sort out. Do you believe in a microwave more than you believe in God? That's a very important question you need to ask yourself. I believe faith should be pray on something. Once you've prayed on it, believe that it's going to get taken care of and go about doing what needs to get done to take you there. But don't live like a doubting Thomas. Like, sasa itakuwaje? Imeisha, ushamwambia, get me out of this. And every time I've asked God to do that, I've come out of it. I've come out of situations where I've been asked, kinesewe jamani mbishi. Umetoboaje hapa? Ambia ni Mungu tu. Ni Mungu tu. I'm like, God, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. Help me come out of it. And I'm a stoic. I hate to worry. So sometimes nasema ni mtu wa kupuuzia, lakini sio kwamba napuuzia. I've asked for a way out of it. So I don't worry about it. I just do what I need to do. Kama ni kutafuta biashara, kama ni kutafuta kazi, kama ni kujituma zaidi, kama ni kubana matumizi zaidi, kuvumilia wakati you're going through crunch ya hela. Lakini what I've asked for, done and dusted. I've pressed start. I'm waiting for my ding.
Mm.
Yeah.
You just asked a question and I had to also try and answer it myself.
Do you believe in the microwave more than you do in God? Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Because all, and I'm not preaching here. Like it could be a sermon anyway. Like all that he wants is, tell me, show me how much you believe in.
And how do you show? By going about your day?
Not doubting.
Not doubting.
Not doubting.
But unlike a microwave, because a microwave does the job. In this particular context, you pray and you have to play your part.
Yes.
What part do you play for a microwave? Make sure you have power?
Make sure you have something in, whatever it is, for the microwave
still
to
heat even if there wasn't anything in, because you're punching in a time in the setting.
Well, okay, now you're making me preach. We, as Christians, we believe that, and I believe all human beings are made in his image.
Yes.
So he is us. We are him. So in believing that he's going to take care of it, you are believing that he's given you the ability to maneuver through whatever murky waters you found yourself in. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, you are the microwave, or you may be the piece of chicken that's in the microwave.
Yeah.
But if you believe that it's going to happen, you just have to trust him and do it. Go about your way without worrying.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, for example, for the longest time, I was trying to do business. And mind you, I've been employed all my life.
Okay.
Yeah? So for the first time, I'm in a situation where no job, kids got to eat, got to go to school, need a roof over their heads.
How many kids do you have?
Oh, 6.
Nice.
Yeah. So
a basketball team.
And the sub.
Nice.
I found myself
the Mongi
in a difficult situation. So what I did, kila dili, I had friends,
Yeah.
What's going on? Ebana kuna issue gani? And almost borderline dalali vibes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything and then anything legit.
Ukifanya.
20 cars.
Yeah.
And I did this, but I never closed anything.
Yeah.
But there was this one time where I was falling back on something really important that I needed to pay for. And now this is not just, there are like several incidents just like that.
Okay.
Which is why I'm saying I'm speaking from experience. I just handed over. I'm like, dude, this is my dude, eh?
Yeah.
Yo, dude, and I'm stuck. I don't know how I'm going to come out of this one, but I need this real bad. Nafanyaje hapa?
Yeah.
Lakini you know what? I know you got me. Mimi naendelea kupambana, lakini mimi nimekukabidhi. I need to come out of this mess.
Yeah.
Bro, I received a phone call like hardly 5 minutes later. This is true story. True story. Mama Harold can testify. Yeah. I received a phone call, and when I picked up, this is a friend of mine who's a producer. He's like, "Hey, kaka uko wapi?" I'm at home. Bana, ungekuwa maeneo ya Morocco bwana, hapo kuna kazi mzee, mteja mfuko wa shati. I'm like, "What did you say?" I'm like, "Yeah, tunafanyaje?" Akamwambia, ndugu yangu hapa, wewe fanya hivi, chukua usafiri mimi nitalipia. Njoo. I need you here, please bro. Pesa ambayo alinitajia bro is the exact amount that I needed to sort out my issue. So come on, the exact amount. Sio a penny less, sio a penny more. Now, if that's not how faith works, I don't know.
You believe in manifestation?
How?
Like, if you believe something to happen, it will. The law of attraction, stuff like that.
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that's also kind of related to faith? Or?
It is faith, yes.
It is faith.
Yes.
Okay. So is it faith in your ability to attract, or faith in believing that there's a higher power, or is it like a cocktail?
I can have faith in my ability to attract, but I'd rather have faith in whoever gave me that ability to attract that which I need. So I'd rather believe the source.
Okay. And you're a churchgoer?
Hapo ndo changu.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a father of 6,
Yes.
what's the most challenging part when you're trying to impart, I guess, wisdom and knowledge to your children about ways not to go? Especially now that I'm pretty sure some of them are teenagers.
Yes. Oh, I've got a set of four teenagers. Yes. Okay. One adult.
Yes.
3 teenagers and two toddlers. Yeah. Is a 7-year-old a toddler? No.
But they're young.
Yeah, or around there. What I came to learn is that every human being is unique. So if you have 6 children, you cannot deal with all of them the same way. You can be saying the same thing, but differently.
Yeah.
For instance, my eldest is the most tolerant of all my kids. He has tough skin. He has his weaknesses, but his strength is that. So I know how to deal with him because he will persevere even when he doesn't need to persevere certain things. I'll be like, no. Step up, push back. Don't be a pushover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The second one, Ethan is so much like me. Oh my goodness, it scares me. He's very not rebellious, but oh my god, ana sound. Yani dogo anajua kunipanga. Yani yeye trust you me. You think I talk? This young man has a gift, but he's also very naughty and he's a teenager. Kwa hiyo bado anajitafuta. But now how I deal with him is very different compared to how I deal with his elder brother or his younger sibling after him. His younger sibling after him is very unique, quiet. This guy can make anything entertain him.
Can make anything entertain him?
Yes. And there's no power. Hamna mtu around. He will sit down and just have conversations with anything. You're like, hey, and start singing, mpole sana. Lakini super intelligent. As I speak, he and I'm not bragging, I'm just grateful. He's been chosen to represent his school in a mathematic competition in the US in January.
Nice.
You get what I'm saying? So you let me misinaga shida naye. He's the one that will wake up in the morning, make his bed, and not switch on the TV until his siblings are up. They've had breakfast. Then they'll sit down and do their studying for the day. And then after he's done with his studies, ask for permission to watch TV. Lakini wenzake wengi. Yani like dad is not around, TV itawashwa, video game itachezwa, kitanda kitaachwa, things will be left lying all over the place. So what I'm trying to say is kila mtoto ana utofauti wake, lakini every child needs love. And every child needs love from both parents.
Yeah.
We live in a day and age where, relationships don't necessarily have to work out for us to be parents. But unfortunately, a lot of relationships have gone sour, and so did the parenting. Demonizing either the other parent. I don't believe in that. I believe we're human beings. I believe we make bad decisions, and even if some of those bad decisions were getting together with someone, a child is never a bad decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I lead with love and understanding, and I try my best to impart that on them.
It's very nice. One of the reasons this show is called Msasa is because of basically maana ya kitu kupigwa msasa. The job that sandpaper does, it's
smoothing things out. Yeah.
Right, before you put that polish and shine. Is there a bad decision that when you look back, ilikuwa ni msasa wako?
Yes. This one. Yeah, this one, even when I think about it, I want to slap myself. So I got married, and that marriage didn't work out. But when I was pursuing my degree in South Africa, I was a married man, and I was a very faithful married man. I would come back home after every semester, every vac. I would come home. I had options to work, but my family was more important. So I would come with my savings, shop for the family and the kids, and come back home. However, things weren't going as I wanted them or as I expected them to go. And
At school, at work,
I
or
know at
family?
home. At school, everything was going perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah. Siyasapata mara moja. Things were going well. When I came back home, I had to make a choice. Well, I made myself make a choice between going back for my last year or staying back and fixing my marriage. And I chose a marriage that fully tanked hardly 2 years later, meaning I sacrificed a degree for
For a partner.
Yeah. That has got to be one of the biggest mistakes I ever made. But here I am standing, and vitu vinaenda.
Were there like flags, red flags at the time, or there was no way you could have seen it?
Love is blind, bro. Love is blind. And but I guess, there are these things, as I said, maisha wana, you learn as you go. There's no formula to saying. There are people who got divorced at 80 something. You've lived with a woman all your life, you've had children, you have grandchildren, and you're in your 70s. There is no formula to this. Flags can be seen, some flags cannot be seen, but if your heart is into it, you'll only see what your heart wants you to see.
Yeah. But as someone who's been married,
Yes.
And it's been like a
What are
Christian
the
marriage.
flags? Yeah.
Like it's a Christian marriage, right?
Yes.
So now you theoretically and ideally, it's a bond approved by God. So you kind of want to fight for it before you have to make that call.
Trust me, I did.
Right? And I'm sure you did. Why is it not working for so many?
I'll tell you why. From my personal opinion, human beings are selfish. And there's a point where it's okay, but when you have decided to be partner with someone, there is no me, there is no you, there's us. Now, in being us, we have to fit in the same pot and not be at loggerheads. I have to respect you, you have to respect me. Now, why is it that today there are so many marriages that are not working? Expectations. Ladies, don't shoot me, but feminism. Ooh, dear feminism. You've killed so many marriages. And you've blocked so many from happening. I believe that a woman should be respected. I believe a woman is capable of anything. Let's say if it's a matter of work,
can do anything
a woman can do anything a man can do. So long as she's educated, she has the same qualifications, it's not a problem. But there's certain things a father can teach a child, a mother cannot ever. She can raise a child on her own, but there's certain things a father can do, a mother cannot. And there's certain things a mother can do, a father cannot even dream of. So both are necessary. When we start feeling like one is more important than the other, or one can do without the other. And God forbid that you are capable of going about it that way because, you know, you have the resources to do so. Yeah, marriages tank. I think tuache kuwa binafsi na tuache kudharauliana. Tuheshimu mchango wa kila mtu. Matatizo yapo. People fight, you know. There's an old man who once said he's been in his marriage for over 50 years. Was it 40 or 50 years? But he said, the secret to the longevity of our marriage is mama yenu anavumilia ujinga wangu na mimi navumilia upumbavu wake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stupid, she's ignorant.
Yeah.
You know, but I tolerate her ignorance and she tolerates my stupidity.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how it should be. No one is perfect. But when you want a perfect, mbona fulani yuko hivi, mbona fulani yuko vile, usinibabaishe bwana, mimi naweza kufanya bila, okay. But at the end of the day, you know, who are you going to? I don't know, man. That's a complicated thing. It's a complicated question. But if we stopped being selfish, respected each other a little bit more, communicated a little bit better, defended trust a little bit more, and did things together more. It's sad to see people build houses together, and the moment you fight, anakwambia basi tuuze nyumba mimi niondoke. You know, let's
the hassle.
Yeah,
for nothing.
Yeah. Let's if couples do things together and they share their plans, they can have their own thing going. Like this one project is out. It could be a flower garden.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That creates a sense of bonding that is different from the one they share in bed.
Yeah.
You know, it's different from raising their kids. It's like a reminder that we have a pact, you and I.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they talk, they communicate. I'm pissed off, I'll tell you. I'm happy, I'll tell you. I'm sad, I'll tell you. I'm depressed, you will know. Because I talk to you. I trust you, no matter what. You can be gone. You could be out at 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm not bothered to call you. I'm like, uko kwenye pombe zake huko, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trust, you know?
Yeah.
But the biggest of them all is respect. A lot of young couples don't respect each other. A lot of young people don't respect themselves.
Karibu kwenye Msasa, where we talk to successful people about failure.
You know what I mean? So why are many marriages not working? I would say the lack of those factors I've mentioned, like in respect being the biggest of them. Yeah.
I want you to think of, let's say 2003.
Yeah.
And 20 years difference. Bob wa sasa na Bob wa 2003.
Hey.
If you had the power, or rather the superpower, what would you change?
I would tell Bobby of 2003 to embark on his education early.
Okay. Because you're going to like 208?
Yes, 208, yeah. So yeah, namwambia anza chuo sasa hivi, moja. Pili, namwambia slow down on the ladies.
Okay.
Pull the brakes kidogo son. But you know what? When I really look back, nisingemwambia badilisha mengi, labda speed tu. Speed ya kila kitu alichokuwa nakifanya. Lakini
speedy meaning what?
Like
going
too fast on everything, you know, extreme on everything.
Slow down.
Yeah, I would have told him to slow down.
Slow down for the sake of clarity?
No. That to some extent, but yes, yeah. Clarity, because yes, you know, you make with clarity you make better financial decisions. And among many others. Yeah, so yeah, you're right, clarity.
Okay. So then now, Bobby, who are you becoming?
A middle-aged man.
What?
A middle-aged man.
But like in the context of life overall, not just your age. What do you enjoy learning, and what do you enjoy having had learned that you can apply as you enter this new phase of?
Thank you. What I've learned and what I'm learning every day is that it never stops. Learning never stops. And anyone can teach you a lesson, young and old. The arrogance of, I've lived longer, I've seen more, what do you know? Oh, there's a lot that you may not know with your age, being older. So I've learned to listen more. Actually, that's one of the sorry, going back. Get one be a listen more.
Yeah.
Get one be a listen more. What have I become? I'm trying. I know that I love. I'm a family person, and my kids come first. My kids are the reason why I do anything that I do. Even when the resources may not be readily available, I see the future for them. I see my future through their eyes.
Okay.
You get what I mean? Like, that's what I live for. And so I think I'm appreciating being a father more every day. Waking up, healthy, able to go about my business is something I'm always grateful for. Because, I've lost a lot of my friends. As recently as 2 months ago, I lost a very dear friend of mine. So being alive is a gift. So I'm learning to appreciate the gift of life more than I used to. I take almost nothing for granted. But then I've also learned that nadeni la kulipa. I have been lucky to be in the not public eye, but being on media all these years.
Yeah.
I'm a very I don't want to say recluse, like ni mtu wa kujitengaga sana. I trust you me, in all the years I've worked in media, hakuna kitu ambacho kuna kitu kama attention, going out and then you feel that tension. You're kwamba, hey, Bobby. So,
okay.
So I used to choose where I hang out, who
Just
I
so
hang
you can
out
avoid.
with. Yes. So I'm not someone who really fancies being in the limelight, but I've learned that I have a debt to pay, because there's certain ways I see things, and if I could share them with whoever can give me the time to listen or watch, I would do it. And there's no blessing that I'm so grateful for as the one of my brothers and I, Evans and Chris.
Yeah.
We are like triplets. We've known each other for we've known each other for over 20 years, and we have a very similar. We have a shared vision in terms of where we see we can go, but who we take with
us.
That's what's one of the most important things to us, and that is a blessing. It's a gift. So what am I becoming? I think I'm becoming more responsible, and I'm more measured in terms of what I put out there, how I communicate. I mean, I'm a human being. Sometimes I lose my cool. I do have a temper. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I'm becoming. Every day is I try to become a more responsible version of me, and not just for me, but for those around us. Yeah.
Wow. Damn, nigga.
And I'm not a politician. I'm not getting into politics.
You're not getting into politics.
No.
All right.
But I love my country. CCM.
So we have a segment in our show. The segment is called Inja Boxing.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the it's a short segment where we would typically take a deep dive into a particular subject.
Okay.
The areas of focus vary depending on who we're speaking to. As a subject matter expert in communications, copywriting, media, advertising, production, I would like us to explore a theme along the lines of ideation.
Okay. Ooh, brainstorm. I love brainstorm.
Yeah?
Can I have some more tea, please?
Yes, you can have some more tea.
Yes.
The theme I want us to go with, actually for the next couple of episodes,
Okay.
is along the lines of ideation.
So,
there's many ways to go about this particular changamoto ideation.
Yeah.
But I can't think of anyone better to ask, especially in the context of communicating. When we have a product, service, and we're soldiers, a challenge has been presented to us. How should we go about thinking? Because the thinking matters even before the idea.
Yes.
How should we go about thinking, developing a communication plan, approach, strategy, tactic that has the highest likelihood of bringing positive results?
From a creative perspective?
From a creative perspective, yes.
That's a very broad question, but it has to be relevant. First thing, it has to be relevant. So for it to be relevant, you need to understand both your client and your audience. Who's your client? Your client might be asking for black, but what they need is white.
Your client and your audience.
Yes.
Black and white.
You understand? Your audience might have never seen either. You understand?
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, since the audience needs green, yeah, and the client is only thinking white. What am I trying to say? There is no formula to it until you get to the process of, okay, what's the idea and how do you communicate this idea? Because you can have one idea but communicate it differently in different markets.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So for it to be successful, it's relative. It's relative. But it always has to be something that may not necessarily satisfy or make the client happy. Sometimes the client may not understand because they don't know any better. So it's your job to make them understand and see that this is better than what they want. Mara kwanza wataikataa because they hawajai kuiona before. But you have to like push back and push back and push back. I remember I spent a whole day at Mwimbili trying to explain kwa watu wa Wizara ya Afya kuhusu a campaign that we were doing that was funded by the US government under the supervision of the ministry. And these concepts were so out the box. Yani tulikuwa narudishwa pale juu kuelezea, kudefend. Unaambia no, lakini hapa wajua kwetu kwenye kabila hili ina maana hii na hii na hii na hii. Unaambia lakini sawa, hiyo ni kabila. Lakini kwa ujumla wake, kwani tunasema hichi tu mara, this one element is all you see. In totality, what do we mean?
Yes.
You know, so you have to defend, and ilichukua muda lakini mwisho wa siku ilitumika. So understanding what the client needs and knowing how to give them that. You don't have to satisfy them immediately. They may be dissatisfied because they don't know any better. But if you can change the mindset of a client to understand and then make it work, then you've done a job. You're not just delivering what you are asked to deliver.
And what about the development of the idea?
The process?
Yeah.
Well, the way we used to work is when the brief comes in, first the client service team there were two ways of doing it.
Okay.
Either the client service department will go to the client with the creative department to get the briefing, or the client service department will go to the client, get the briefing. If they're astute at what they do, then they will put the brief together for the creative department.
Right.
And then the head of the creative department will sit down, go through it with the client service department. Not his whole team. Him, yes.
Yes, the head.
Sometimes with the whole team, but not always. And then after that, the whole office would take time to now brainstorm on the idea, on the brief. Well, how do we go about it? So the creative league is, okay, these are the different approaches we can use. But I remember there was a junior account executive. His name is Anesu Chasosa.
Mm-hmm.
He came up with a slogan or an idea. I can't remember what campaign it was, but we're just throwing questions. What do you think? What would you say? Even the tea lady can be involved.
Yeah.
That's how ideas come to fruition, because trust you me, wewe unafanya campaign ambayo target audience yako ni mtu anayepanda daladala, mtu ambaye hana gari, sawa, mshahara wake labda ni chini ya 100,000. Halafu dada mfagiaji au mlinzi, unaona huyu nikiongea naye hichi kitu ataelewa, lakini that's the same person you want to communicate.
That's the same person.
That's the person you're supposed to involve.
Yeah.
So
because they would understand the pain points better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I believe it's teamwork. So in bringing the idea to life, anyone can throw in that money idea. Like in film, there's the money shot. You know, that eureka moment can come from anyone. So it's how you lead the brainstorming process that determines how you arrive at the idea that you're looking for.
I'm thinking about a brief.
Mm-hmm.
Are there questions that if you have the right answers to, makes the brief simpler? Or again, there's no formula?
Now, in my dabbling in client servicing, the best brief, you see, creative concepts are not supposed to be simple, but briefs are. The simpler the brief, tell me in as few words as possible what you're asking of me. And then let me as a creative umiza kichwa with my team tuangalie tunaifunguaje. But if you come with too many details in the brief, it's those details are supposed to be compressed. There's who said this? Aliwahi kusema kwamba when you're sending in a brief to the creative department, it should be the simplest document you've ever written in your life, using the simplest language. Because mtu wa creative hatakiwi kuumiza kichwa kucrack your brief. Wewe unatakiwa umecrack kama client service. So how can you simplify the needs of the client in your brief? Then bring it to me. Once you've brought it to me in a simple manner, I've understood what the client needs in the simplest way possible. Then I can get creative. I can get creative, and I can now come back with a complex approach to answering that. I don't know if I'm making sense. You understand?
A lot.
Yeah. So the brief should be simple. The creative approach can be complex, but not the brief. If you start with a complicated brief, expect the creative outcome to be weak.
Because why? Because it was too much information?
The job of the creative is not to decipher the complexities of the client. That's the client service department. Client service anatakiwa yue, this is a complex client, matakwa yake ni 1, 2, 3. That's the client service department. Creative hatakiwi kuingia in that world of mess. Client service atakuwa ichukue ile, I simplify. Kwamba okay, huyu ukishajua there's so many things, lakini you can note down what you can reduce afu ukacombine it, simplify it. You come to a creative, listen, huyu bwana anatoka hapa ana shida ya hii hapa, kwa hiyo anataka kufika hapa, tunafanyaje? So unajua alipopita ni hapa, alafu hii alikuja na hii, alafu kuna hii hapa pia, alafu juzi kuna kile, alafu sasa hizo zote hizi hajui tufanyeje. I'm like, why are you giving me all that information? How is that going to help me creative? Sema tu, simplify the request. Because a creative should not think like a
biz dev person.
Yes. Well, it's good if you can have creatives who can wear both hats, but it's tasking. Let the creative have enough room to go crazy with ideas, not crazy with deciphering client issues.
Yeah.
I know what you need for the client. Okay, let me see what I can bring you. I'll come back with 10 ideas. I'll come back with 5 ideas. But I can't come back to you with that many ideas if I'm thinking of your client's problems. That's your job as a client service person. So the brief should always be as simple as possible.
Bob.
Yes.
Asante.
Cheers, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. You took me back to the advertising world, man.
I took you back there. You belong there, man.
They don't want to hire me.
You can't run from who you are.
They don't want to hire me. They don't want to hire
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Karibu kwenye Msasa, where we talk to successful people about failure.